jokes. This is fun. I love this shit. This shit is fun. This is like therapy, guys. People go to therapy and sit on the couch.
Yeah,
this right here. This is it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Middle-Aged Man Show, the only show where we still got it, but we know the clock is ticking. I'm here with my co-host, Divine Knowledge, and we have a very special guest, producer and artist, Lord Digga.
Yeah!
So, Lord Digga, go ahead and introduce yourself to the public, someone that may not be familiar with your work. Let them know who you are.
Lord Digga is a producer from Brooklyn, New York, who came from Miami, Florida. I moved to New York officially in 1983. Lived in Brownsville for a little bit, and then by 1984 I moved to the neighborhood of Flatbush, where I met my girl. You understand? So, yeah, and along with another cast of characters that I never thought in my life that would be a part of my life and make it what it was. New York was fucking different, bro. Brooklyn was different from being in Miami and being in Florida and shit like that. It's like, the trees and the buildings. I'm used to flatland and seeing, 3-4 miles ahead of me, riding bikes and dogs chasing us and shit like that. It was way different. So I had to learn how to adapt to everything that was going on, like, in real time, quick. I had to get up to speed quick because New York is fast paced. Florida, like I said, is different. So, when I got here.
At what age did you get to New York?
I think I was like 14.
Okay.
Same age as my son, like right now. So it was like, I was like 14. Getting ready to start high school. So, like I said, it was a fast paced thing for me. And one of the things I wanted to do was connect with people and, try to learn how to be now a fucking New Yorker. Because I've been, when I came up, I was wearing corduroys, bro. Mm-hmm. In the summer, niggas was laughing at me at school, bro. They was like, this nigga got on corduroys, it's 90 degrees. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Our culture was different in Florida, so I had to basically try to have the best of both worlds. Still keep some of that southern shit with me, which was my sports part of my life, which all that the roots came from there, from Florida. And then now trying to be, like I said, trying to be a New Yorker. Getting to Flatbush, it changed a lot. Brownsville is a whole different thing. You buildings everywhere, the train, the L train on Livonia Avenue. I live right off of Riverdale. The funny shit is, it was bugged because I was just on Instagram not too long ago, and Dwayne Martin, the actor Dwayne Martin, whatever.
What's her name? Husband.
Right.
Gotcha.
Me and him used to fucking play the same recreation center, Salvation Army Recreation Center on Riverdale Avenue between Osborne and Watkins. So if anybody knows
Brooklyn?
Yes, he's from fucking Brownsville, bro.
I have no idea. He looked familiar, but I just didn't know that he was from New York. I didn't know he was from New York.
Hell yeah, Dwayne Martin's from fucking Brownsville, bro. Wow. We used to play in that same center, and that motherfucker, the same way you saw him in the movie. What was the movie? The basketball movie. The same way he was dribbling in the movie with his arm up and shit like that, he used to do that same shit in Salvation Army. He did nothing else but play basketball. Everybody else was shooting pool, doing other shit. That nigga was in the gym all the time. So shout out to Dwayne Martin too. Yeah. So 6 degrees of separation. There with him, we ended up moving to Flatbush and shit. I end up using my fucking aunt's address to get into Sheepshead Bay High School because I was originally supposed to either go to Tilden or South Shore.
Mm-hmm. I should have came to the shore.
I should have came to the shore. We went to the shore. We would have won like 3 championships, straight cheese. Because you already had Arthur Davis over there. You had the crazy defense. You had these dudes running around. I would have fit in. It was. It's not like I didn't have a quarterback because I did have one.
No, you did.
I was a runner and a thrower, so that would have brought a whole nother dimension to that team, but it didn't happen.
And Seno loved the wishbone. He wanted to run.
Marty loved me too because I used to come to the Big Apple games. You remember?
And we used to work out in the summertime.
Exactly.
The summertime workout.
We used to go to the Big Apple games. Big Apple games used to be at South Shore, so I used to go there. And Marty Sinal used to have unauthorized practices. He wasn't supposed to be having organized practices, but Marty found a way.
I'm sure he tried to bring you over. He's like, I'm bringing this kid over.
Marty found a way to have unauthorized practices at South Shore that wasn't supposed to be happening because you're not supposed to be doing that until August. It was to have, organized practices, but Marty would have like half of the fucking South Shore team there, along with other players in the
whole South Shore team. We was working out. We was working out. Animals in there,
yo,
bro.
The shit was crazy. So one day I went there and he was like, yo, I like that kid. And
what's your address?
Yo, you supposed to be going to South Shore. Like, he's dead ass serious. This is dead ass serious.
Shout out Coach Seno.
So South Shore was really taking the game serious.
Hell yeah.
It was not a game.
South Shore, Canarsie, these are the schools that was taking the shit serious. Like Lincoln in the A division, where now my sons get ready to go. Even from back then, we talking about the 80s.
Was for real.
Madison,
Nazareth was for real.
Lafayette.
They had ringers in there. JFK in the Bronx. Kennedy. So what's his name? Shepard, Rodney Shepard.
All these ringers. It was a lot of shit going on in the PSAL.
What do you guys credit that to? To a lot of the coaches? Because you see a lot of these programs deteriorating now.
Yeah.
Like, what do you guys think it was? The coaches, the funding? What made those programs so good?
Picking up. You know what it was? I gotta give a lot of credit to the little league teams too, like the Hurricanes and the Skyhawks and stuff like that. And
parade grounds,
right? Kings Bay, Kings Bay. They a lot of the coaches went to a lot of these places too to recruit players and to try to get them to come to their school. And then when they did that, those same players would tell their friends, "Yo, look, man, don't go here. Yo, come over here." So it was a lot to do with a lot of the players too. Telling their friends that they knew they were good in football, yo, come to this school, yo, come over here. So that was a lot of that shit.
Yeah, the athletes.
If he had got to me sooner, say I had moved into the neighborhood and I knew him sooner, I would have been at South Shore. I'd have told my mom, no, I'm going to South Shore. He lived right around the corner from me.
The athletes were the celebrities back then. That's what it was before. This is right there at the beginning of the crack era. So you got to understand what was happening in New York. You had shower posse from Yachty's coming in. These guys are coming in the 90s. And they was killers. And that's what it was. Like all the other cultures, everybody was Jamaican. That's what it was. I don't care if you was Haitian, Trinidadian, Guyanese, everybody was Jamaican. And that's what it was. And if you wasn't that, they was batting you up. Bad. They take off the coat off your back. Take the sneakers off your pants, off your shoes.
Take your glasses.
Whatever.
Niggas take your gazelles right off the bus. You be on a 44 bus, they open up the back window. Dude, take your shit off your fucking face.
It wasn't a game.
No,
it wasn't a game. That's a whole nother story.
We don't want to get into focused.
So do the knowledge. All right. You're doing the sheep shed thing. You're killing the game. I remember I went to see you guys. You won the championship, Midwood Field.
Yeah.
Okay.
I come up. I think I was like the missing piece to everything. Like it wasn't like I was throwing for 300 yards every game. No, it wasn't. It was just that I was smart. I made the right decisions.
You could manage the game properly.
Exactly. The coach could just look at me and I knew what he wanted to call.
That was Riley, Coach Riley?
Coach Riley. Shout out to Coach Riley and Sheepshead Bay Sharks, man. I love you, man. All my Sharks. Yeah, and I think that's what it was. But then when he pulled it and said, okay, yo, look, this is your game. Like, he came to me one game, and it's just like my only game when he actually came to me and said, yo, look, I'm putting it on you today. Straight like this. It was right. I'll never forget it. It was we gonna play John Jay. And we was I think at the time we was 5-0. This is the championship season. He came to me, he said, yo, look, this is your game. What are you gonna do? I'm putting it out there. Let's go.
That's the championship season?
Yeah, championship season. This is the most passes I ever threw in a game. I threw 7 passes. I completed 6. 2 touchdowns. The most passes I've never thrown over 7 passes because we would always be running over everybody. I'd turn around and hand the ball to somebody and they run it for 50 yards. I never really had to do anything but just don't turn the ball over.
It was I formation we was running. It was like power I.
Power I. Anything we would do, it would just be like.
But then y'all ran the wing, right?
No, we ran power I. We ran power I. We ran power I, multiple offense, and different sets, and just stuff that basically just bullied everybody. Mm-hmm. And then with speed, I had a lot of running backs that were just fast. I was the fastest, but they got the ball and they did what they had to do. So that became just what it was for 3 years. 3 years of high school. I think I probably lost, I don't know how many games. Probably like 8 in 3 years. Because 1 year we didn't lose a game. So if you count that, then the other 2 years are like 4 games apiece.
Power football in Brooklyn. That's what it was.
In the 80s and in the middle part of the 90s.
That's what helped us to survive. Being on the football team, that kept us out the street.
Yeah.
Because everybody else was selling crack. That's just what it was.
I mean, I still sold crack, but that was after. Like, you know, I was on 53rd Street between Church and Snyder. I mean, not to just anybody that knows that. Everybody knows what was going on.
You gotta get your money, you know.
You know what I'm saying? Look, I used to tell my mom I was working for security for Siemens Furniture out in the warehouse, but she never knew. But it's all good. I didn't get in any trouble. I just was out there for 12 hours.
So do that. So we can move forward a little bit. So the hip hop deal, right? Mm-hmm. So now, when do you decide that you want to be involved in the hip hop on a serious level?
On a serious level is when I saw it was like kind of like a 6-degree separation thing. We talked about this off camera before. Master Ace actually went to the same high school as me.
Gotcha. Master Ace from the Juice Crew.
From the Juice Crew.
So, shout out to the Juice Crew.
He was there like 3 years before. So at some point, you know, he was coming back and forth back to the school, you know, seeing us play and stuff like that. So I started hanging out with him and my other dude, Kennard, which was more in his age bracket than his group. He was like, they were singers together, but me and Kennard was connected through his other brother that was on the actual team playing with us. So that's how all that stuff just got mixed in together. So after a while, I started hanging out with other dudes that was doing music outside of Ace.
Okay.
So it actually started with, I don't know if you know Aaron. You remember E from the Hood?
Yeah.
Okay, Big E.
Nicky D's DJ, right?
Exactly. Big
Wasn't he
Ezo.
down with? He was down with Clark Kent, right?
Right.
Or something like that.
He was part of the Superman. One of the,
Gotcha.
you know, Superman back then was like, you know, highly touted DJs that were some of the best DJs in New York and in the world.
Sidebar. I remember we used to go to Lescar's, Junior Lescar's basement.
Exactly.
He had turntables.
Exactly.
And then I remember one day we came there, and Junior said that the turntables wasn't there one day. I said, "Yo, where's your turntable?" He was like, he lent them to Clark because he was going on tour with Dana Dane or something like that.
Exactly.
And he was supposed to get his turntable, so we had to wait for that. I
kind of remember that too.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
His turntables, his turntables was gone for a minute.
Right. It was a minute, right? Because that was where we used to hang out after school and what have you, and that's what it was.
DJ Majesty used to come over there.
Roderick, Majesty.
And the champion, reigning that is, from Flatbush, Brooklyn. We have His Highness, DJ Majesty.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And so, all right. So back on to what we were saying before.
So that part,
You were doing music with Ezo.
Doing music with Ezo, I started trying to put some beats together and stuff like that. But at the same time, I always used to write stuff down, but I never really tried to put it in a song form. I was just writing stuff down, just jotting shit down. And so as time went on, as we started working on beats, I finally felt that I had something that I wanted to record. So he was like, "Yo, look, I'm gonna take you to the studio. Let's see if you could put that down." Like,
This is Funky Slice.
No, this is his man's crib somewhere in Crown Heights. I still don't remember. Every time we talk about this story,
Somebody's crib.
Somebody's crib.
Got you.
And we end up going there, and I end up recording like some of my first demos. So after that shit, I started playing some of them shits, and then Ace was like, "Yo, it sound like you look like you trying to make some moves, and it seems like you're getting better at what you're doing. You know, you want to try to get you in the studio and work on some real shit, like, you know, work in a studio." But I kind of stuck with that. I didn't really listen to what he was talking about. I kind of stuck with me and E doing the shit that we was doing. So as time went on, I started, this is all after I came back from school.
Okay, got it.
Because after, you know, high school, I went to Kansas for a half a semester, and then I came home and I got the job working at ASCAP. So let's backtrack a little bit, because the ASCAP thing gave me the light bulb to start thinking about taking the music serious.
Would you seeing checks in the mail room or something like that?
Exactly. I worked at ASCAP, and I was working in this department called Office of Operations, which was basically technically the fucking mailroom.
Gotcha.
They just called it Office of Operations. So I was there with the shit, and you know, I didn't even know when royalties came in. I didn't know none of this shit. But I know that when my supervisor would say, "Yo, we got a big mailing today," and I knew what that meant. A big mailing means
checks going out.
Boom. So checks started coming in, and these shits wasn't sealed. They was coming to us. We had to seal them.
Got you.
So shit's is coming through. So as I'm looking, it's a trays of checks are coming in. We got the fucking Pitney Bowes mail machine in there. We doing this shit from back. Yo, listen, I had to put all these shits in by hand, one by one. So I'm looking. So we know niggas' names from back at album covers. Because we read those.
And you're seeing the numbers, you're seeing the amounts.
I'm seeing names on the envelope. So I look at Nathaniel. I won't say his last name, but Coogee Rap. So I take the fucking shit. I'm a supervisor and see what I did. I took it and I opened up the shit and I looked. I was like, oh shit. Oh yeah. Looks like I'm changing the profession right now. I wanted to play football, but I looks like I'm gonna be fucking with this. I saw Nathaniel was one of Nathaniel's checks.
See the value.
I saw the value in it.
Gotcha.
Not gonna tell you what it was, but it was over $10,000. So I can tell you that exactly.
Understood.
So
that's good money.
Exactly. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm still living with my moms.
For rap?
I'm like, I wanted to be a football player. I'm a quarterback, and back then, black quarterbacks in the '90s, we wasn't really thought about like that. They wanted to move us positions, safety, and wide receiver. So I was like, instead of going through all of that shit and being disappointed, try to walk onto the Giants and don't get picked or don't get on the team. Let's try to do with this music shit. Let's see what this does. Because I can always go back to football. It's semi-pro. I can still live that. So, boom. So I'm dealing with that shit. So now that puts the light bulb in my head. I think I want to do music. So I started learning from the inside. Writers, publishing, talking to, the workers that give out memberships and finding out what I have to do to become a member and this and that. So at that time, I meet who later became my partner in Blues Brothers, which was Norman Glover.
Oh, he worked there as well?
He worked at ASCAP.
Nice. Okay.
So,
I didn't know that.
So,
rest in peace, Norm.
He worked in the index department, which actually is the department that you actually file and register your music. You have to send your music to the index department and they file it. Because back then, the computer stuff, they had computers, but it's not like how it was now. You had to actually have your physical music.
The paperwork.
So they would send in albums, CDs, shit like that.
Cassettes.
And it would go cassettes of their commercially packaged product. It had to be ready for sale. So it either had to have been low-key in Tower Records or something like that or anything like that.
Or disc makers.
Exactly.
Okay.
Anything like that where now they can say, okay, yo, look, we can make you a member because your records can actually be sold. It had to be a record that it had to be ready to go.
Packaged properly.
Right. It can be a demo. You can't send your fucking demo to ASCAP and be like, yo, I want to be a fucking member. Like, why? Why are we going to make you a member? You're not going to make any money with a fucking demo. So it had to be some shit that it had to be ready to be sold. So, like I said, he worked in the index department. Ironically, on the flip side, Mr. C tells Ace, yo, look, I got a homie that work in there, which was now Norm.
The witch doctor.
Witch doctor.
Gotcha.
So now, me and him kind of, boom, we meet.
Okay.
So from then, I started, he was already doing production. He already had a group. He was down Witch Doctor and the Dominating 3 MCs. He was doing
a lot of shit, right?
Out of Lafayette Gardens.
Gotcha.
So, and for the record, Witch Doc basically taught Easy Mo B and Mr. C how to DJ.
But let me ask a question here. Having that introduction to the business side must have been priceless knowledge that you acquired. There's a lot of people getting into music, they get into the music and then figure out the business later.
Right.
But you managed to actually learn the business side before stepping into a studio, that's very interesting.
90% business is 10% everything else. And the thing is, and when we was just talking off camera, like I said, we was one of the ones that got our money from Ready to Die album.
And you're still getting money.
And we're still getting fucking money.
And
that's because of...
You goddamn right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's because of what you just said.
Yeah,
learning
the business.
What writers is, what publishing is, what I'm supposed to get, what mechanicals are, what all of that stuff from the inside. Everybody, like you said, people gonna start learning this shit after they start making money, and it might be too late because now you may have let money slip through that you should have been getting while with all of these things were at its height. Now that it's died down, it may not ever come. You may not ever get that $1 million, but you may get that $1 million by taking those pieces. That 5 here, that 10 here, another 5 here. You at 20. You got to keep building, and that's how I looked at it when we started. We just kept building, and the numbers kept getting higher and higher and higher. It didn't look like it was, but at the same, we wasn't like the household name. And people were talking about us, but it wasn't like the other producers. We wasn't getting talked about like Easy Mo B. Wasn't getting talked about like Pete Rock. We wasn't getting talked about like a Dr. Dre or anybody like that. But we still had some of the same quality work as those people.
You definitely put in some great work.
You understand? We still had some of the same quality work as those people. We were hard workers. We were the ants. You know what I'm saying? We carry all the heavy weight. Like we did all the ant shit. Like everybody else get the glory for the shit, but we did the work. Like, you understand?
So now you guys, okay, you connect with Norm.
I connect with Norm.
You with Ace. Everybody's in the loop. Switch the seed. Everybody's cool. So now, when do you guys transition into you and Ace? You becoming part of the INC or whatever he's doing? When did he break off from the Juice Crew and decide to move forward?
He had already maybe after a couple of. I think that he was already done with the Juice Crew, and he was in the middle of looking for a new deal at that time.
Okay.
When we was doing what we was doing, and in the process of that, he got the new deal. He got away
with
from.
Who did he get it
he
with?
got a deal with Delicious Vinyl Records that was being run and distributed through
Tone Loke's label, right? Wow, dang.
Tone Loke and Young MC.
Young MC.
Brand New Heavies and Far Side and all of that.
That was a power label, right?
That was a pretty good, strong, solid label on the West Coast. Outside of Loud being on the West Coast, all the other labels outside of that were bigger labels like Capitol and Warner Brothers and stuff like that. But Delicious Vinyl had fucking money because those records. See, another thing too, I didn't really know how much a platinum album makes a label, and so I looked into that part of it. You know, looking at the point system of, you know, they're giving you 10 points on the album as opposed to 20 points on the album. I looked into that shit and realized, okay, when they was giving out budgets and shit like that to make their money back, you didn't really have to sell as much records as you thought. I thought that you actually had to go platinum for a record label to be successful. When I found that out, I was like, oh shit! Like one platinum album is $10 million. But when I realized, I was like, yo, it just gave me a budget of. They're crying to me. They're giving me a budget of only $220,000 and telling me to go record an album, but one of my albums, if it goes platinum, makes them $10 million. That's when I was like, these niggas is the biggest fucking drug deal, and these niggas is crazy. That's the craziest markup ever. What are you crazy? And then hold up, you gotta pay that money back. So it's not like they even, you understand? That's recoupable. Like the niggas is giving you, they're gonna make $10 million off your platinum album, give you $220,000, make you pay. Okay, but you gotta remember,
but most artists don't go platinum.
Exactly. But if you take that and go half of that, go gold, that's $5 million.
You still get paid.
What the fuck? They only gave you. Still only gave. So niggas wasn't getting rap budgets past like $200,000. You had to be really, really big to get like a really big budget. So rap budgets back then was like, if you was
short money,
$125,000. Like for the average dude that was getting you know what I'm saying? If you wasn't like somebody that really had the buzz and they was
really giving out single deals. They wasn't even giving out album deals like that.
And when I got my deal on Big Beat Atlantic, I had a all-in deal, which was basically, being that I was a producer, they gave me all the money because I was going to rely on me to produce the whole album. It was going to be basically me and Witch Doctor was going to do the album, so they gave me an all-in budget. So my first check got cut. It was like $90,000.
Good money
to do nothing, because we already had basically the album already started. We started recording shit already, so it was nothing for me to do anything.
So the album was already
in process already. So they didn't know that.
Okay.
I already started doing demos and shit with Ace, and if I wasn't going to use some of those songs, we already had shit that was already starting to develop. So my time in the studio.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Exactly.
So as a young man, that was a great payday.
Oh, what's going on?
But back to you guys on Delicious Vinyl. And then Ace calls you in. Listen, I got this deal with Delicious Vinyl. Let's rock. You got the INC. You, Paula Perry.
Basically,
the other girl.
Basically, right? You're right. He put the shit together like piece by piece. You know, Paula came through another system, which was Icy Rock and them. They had Paula first, which was who he was dealing with before he decided to leave Delicious Vinyl. He had Icy Rock on the first album and did the song called Go Where I Cindy. And Paula came through them. So he basically stole Paula from them. Already had that idea. And then when he seen me doing the shit that I was doing, he was like, yo, look, I think we should team up and, you know, basically, you know, do a little production deal with me and start getting me in the studio so he can record songs with me. So basically get in on the shit that I already started. I already started this shit without him, but he basically wanted to get his hands in. Like, oh look, all right, cool. So in that process, we kind of like by default formed the INC.
Gotcha. So what's the big record for you guys now? What's the hit for INC to get you guys really rolling? Jeep Ass Nigga?
Yeah, it was Jeep Ass Nigga, which was basically Jeep Ass Nigga was
like a West Coast bounce type joint.
It started out that way, and they liked the song. It was a double-sided single. It was Jeep Ass Nigga with Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
So Saturday Night Live was kind of like overtaking Jeep Ass Nigga. So what he did was take the same lyrics from Jeep Ass Nigga and made a song called Born to Roll. And that was what pushed it forward more. It was the same ass shit. Yeah, exactly. The Knowledge Me song. Knowledge Me, man. He took that shit and just took the lyrics from Jeep Ass Nigga and put that on there and called it Born to Roll.
And nobody realized it?
Everybody realized it. It was just like it was like
it was a remix.
Right. He didn't call it the Jeep Ass Nigga remix. He gave it another title. But that doesn't matter. Because once that title and the lyrics, when you register your songs through ASCAP or whatever you're doing, or the Library of Congress, or you know, you're trying to copyright your shit, you gotta write the lyrics and the title of the song. So when you do that, whatever that is, once that goes into the paperwork, it's always going to be titled that. It doesn't matter if you take the lyrics off and put it on another song called a remix. Case in point, we did the original version to One More Chance. The remix version, it does not matter that we did not do the remix version. That title, One More Chance, is titled to Blues Brothers. So whatever that title gets played, not the original version, it's still attached to us. One More Chance is our song. So those lyrics, whatever the title of the song, it don't matter. It can move all over the place. It's still titled.
But we're going fast.
Right, exactly.
So, all right, you guys got the record, Born to Roll. You guys are touring, rolling around. Everything is sweet. Now, when do you decide that, you know what, this is not working for me? I'm ready to move on and start doing my own thing.
That was like maybe like 1995 or so. It was after a lot of stuff that happened. We did a lot of production, and we getting our feet wet and stuff like that. I just sensed that creatively we were going in two different directions, and I wanted him to start pulling back for some of the West Coast shit. Even though the label was out there, we gave them their whatever they
needed.
Right, their little satisfaction of us trying to cater to the West Coast crowd. But I thought he needed to come back this way now and like do more shit pertaining to the team instead of him. We had a couple of songs that I was on, and I think another one that Paula was on, that he could have released instead of doing, sitting on Chrome and some other shit that I felt that wasn't something that gave the whole group light.
Gotcha.
It was all focused on him, and I didn't like that shit. So I started just, whatever.
So now that's when you go and find S and decide you want to work with Sir S. Don?
You gotta backtrack. S came before that.
Okay.
I started working with S long before I was even thinking about putting myself first. I saw the talent at S and I was like, I'm still trying to put shit together and learn how to actually spit this shit. I had it all down. I had the tenacity. I had all of that shit, but I didn't feel that I had what S had.
Gotcha.
So I was like, instead of me trying to like hold a spot for me until I'm ready. Let me move somebody up into a slot where I know they ready. And I know if I got connections, I got this person over here, I can now move S forward. And then being all the stuff that I already was learning about producing, I said in that time, let me now try to work with him, use my ears to try to work with him and give him the best music so that he now can do these songs and he can be heard. And, you know, I had a vision of him being, because I don't even think we knew about special ed then. I don't think we did. But I had a vision of him being like how where they was trying to put special ed.
Gotcha.
Like that type of shit.
So let me ask you this. This is before, what happened first? Did he go on the In Control, Marley Marl In Control Volume 2 first? Or did you try to did you put the record out on it first?
No. He went on the Marley Marl In Control thing first. That was all before we started doing what we was doing. Okay. Like officially, like before the deal with Freeze and everything. I pushed him into that situation because I saw what was happening. He didn't, I used to, go up to Cold Chillin' and, be around these guys before I had the name of being who I was. I was just a person that would be hanging out with Ace, whatever. So I would see this shit going on and I'm like, yo, I think that this is where, not to say that he needs to be on Cold Chillin', but this is where S needs to be.
Get some exposure.
Right. He needs to get the power behind him, the backing, the pushing outside of the talent. That's all he needed.
Shout out Fly Ty. Fly Ty is a South Shore alum.
Yeah, and from Flatbush. And from Flatbush.
Nah, I bumped into him. We was at the coach had Marty they had something for the coach. And Fly Ty was there. And I was like, oh shit, this Fly Ty from Cold Chillin'. He played football for South Shore.
That's crazy.
But that's a sidebar. Yeah. So all right, so now we got you at Cold Chillin'. You see a lane for S. You push him through. He gets on.
Right.
All right. So that was
he gets on to now possibly become a part of what we was talking about, the Marley Marl In Control 2 album, and possibly work with Master Ace on his album that he was working on at that time. Okay. So I pushed that forward because, like I said, I felt that I was like, I'm not gonna hold a spot for me, and I'm not ready. Like on that side, I'm more ready to make the music, to make beats, but not as far as like me becoming an artist. I wasn't ready at that time. So I was like, yo.
So then you guys, that happens. So let's move forward a little bit. You decide, you work with him, you come up with the single, Show Me the Way.
God damn, see? Another fucking day. I see a million ways to get ahead, but which one is gonna pay?
Right? And how did you guys get signed? How did you get the Freeze deal?
Damn, I don't even know how the fuck that happened. He met up with somebody. I think it was through Frank. Frank and Storm. Okay. I think they knew
they had a
somebody over there. And they knew, what is it, Todd Terry?
Okay.
Who When I'm With You, nigga singing the fucking, yo. He was a co-owner of that label at that time. It was him and another dude. And I think that's how that happened.
Because they had Sham and the Professor there too.
Yeah, right.
Scratch, my cousin brother Scratch, he was DJing for that crew. Yep. So that's how I was seeing what was happening.
Yep.
All right, so then you guys get the Freeze, come out with the record. Freeze was distributed by Priority, correct?
Priority Records out west on the West Coast.
So now, here's a funny part. The song Show Me the Way is wound up being used by Tupac in Dear Mama. So now, how does that happen? Because I thought that was a little odd.
Okay, we already know Quiet Storm. At the time, I didn't know where it came from. I didn't know where the sample came from. I didn't know it was, where the fuck is it? Ah, shit. I think it's George Benson, or one of them. I can't remember right now. It's either George Benson or irrelevant. So one day, I'm at ASCAP. I'm working late. And I go past one of my homies' office. He's always in there, and he's playing WBLS. And I said, yo, one day I'm going to catch this fucking sample. I'm going to catch this. I don't know where the fuck. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. But he had a Maxell tape right on his fucking desk. I took the shit, put it in his shit, and hit record. Boom! Right when the nigga was, right after he finished talking on the Quiet Storm, it comes on. Bling, 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 bling. So I record the shit. I was like, yo, I'm about to make a song out of this shit. Right off the Maxell tape, I swear to you, I took the shit right to the studio and the shit was clean too. I was like, yo, took the shit, yo, let's go. I looped the shit up, bang. I was gonna use it for me, and I was like, you know what? Me not being selfish again.
Give it to the kid.
Give it to him. Right. Let's go. So I give it to him, and it turns into Show Me.
Got you. Freeze loves it.
Free loves it. I take another sample. I take Regina Bell. Drop it in there. Show me the way. Show me. Boom. They love it.
The video gets done.
They're
playing it on BT.
Yep.
It's picking up steam. Things are happening. What happens? How does this turn into this Dear Mama business? I'm not understanding that.
So as Priority Records distributes Freeze, they have labels out in California. So what they were doing was trading music, basically. You know, this is the next thing that Freeze is about to come out with, which is S Don, Flip Side, Show Me the Way with the song called Simple. So they made cassette tapes of these songs, and they was, you know, sending them back and actually they were coming from out there because Priority's out there, so they were shipping them from actually out there back to us.
The promo single joint.
Promo singles. So I mean, some kind of way, I guess Tupac Shakur or one of his producers or whatever heard this shit, because I could see that happening like that. They was like, what's this shit? You know, do the little shit on your pants to pop the jack off the fucking tape and put the shit in.
But Tupac was on Priority at the time?
Tupac was on Priority.
Okay, so that's how they were able to just move through.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Tupac was on Priority, and that was, you know.
How did you guys feel when this comes out? Like,
I said this. What was your reaction?
My reaction was, I wanted to beat Tupac up, but there was no way I could do that at that point. I mean, that's the way I felt. I mean, not actually do it, but yeah, I felt really like, I felt that I was robbed. Like, because first of all, like I told you, I said, in my mind, I always wanted to do this shit. And now I finally get it, make a song out of it, and then people like this shit, and then somebody comes with a bigger name
and jacks it.
And just jacks the whole shit. But I can't be mad because it wasn't my original sample. It's not like I played the shit in my crib or some shit like that. So, you know, same thing like Guru said, you know, you don't own the samples. Nobody owns the shit. So, other than the people that did it. So, yeah, that shit really fucked me up.
So you think it was just one of the producers who heard it and then they said, hey, you know what, I'm going to use this.
And they fucking found the actual record. Or even, I think they actually played it over. How
what is Freeze saying to you when this is happening? How do they feel? Are they like, hey, let's just get another one or whatever?
I don't even think, you know why? I don't even think they even said anything, because not too long after that, the situation happened with the you know, going up into the office and shit like that. So after that happened, I guess that they was just like, whatever. Freeze is not whatever, but Priority on the whole is still gonna win, because now Tupac has this record.
All right, so that happens. There's an incident where you guys wound up losing the deal, correct? You get dropped from the label.
Yeah.
There was some sort of an internal beef, and it didn't go well, and we'll leave that so they can talk about that. Whatever. But it's funny that happened. So tell us, that opens up a lane for who? Like, after you guys lose your deal, what happens?
When that happened, Freeze were looking for roster spots, and because they already had their distribution deal with Priority, so now they just need to fill this spot. So when that incident happened, ironically, this guy named Sean Carter comes right into the fold and starts working on his solo career in that same spot where my bro was maybe 4 months ago.
So that's how. So Reasonable Doubt was distributed by Freeze.
Priority.
Right after that incident happened. Wow. Yeah. That's ironic.
Maybe what, about 6 months after, maybe? I don't even know. I don't know how long, but I know that was that spot. You understand? Like, they already had money put in that slot for S. They already had that situated. This is what they were going to do. This is the X amount of money they was going to spend for promotion.
So he missed a potentially big push.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone else took that and ran with it.
Somebody else capitalized on you.
Yeah.
But this is all kind of like it kind of came into the tail end. Ended up meeting up with Matty C.
Okay, so during that time, y'all got in the Source magazine Unsigned Hype.
Right.
You had S in the magazine.
Right.
And that was part of the push. That's how we got his deal with Freeze, right?
Right.
All that.
Right.
So now you're chilling at the Source. You're in with these guys. You're moving around. The Source was the place to be. Right. That was like the hip hop Bible at that time.
Yep.
Everybody loved the Source, so it was a big deal.
The Source had a lot of credibility back then, guys. It's definitely not the magazine that you see or hear about now. Back then, you know, the Source was the industry staple. I mean, you made it onto the Source, you were big time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Super big time.
Pretty much. So
I was a subscriber at the time.
So let's get back. Yeah, 2 steps back. Actually, that was part of him getting on to Freeze because we got into the Unsigned Hype because us meeting Matty C. And yeah, that was a big part of it too. I forgot about that. That's why I was like, how did he even get there? So yeah, that part, the Unsigned Hype.
Y'all submitted it?
We went up to the actual Source before we just took a chance. It was me, Frank, S, all of us. We just went up there and was like, yo, who we got to talk to about Unsigned Hype? And it was like, well, you know, this guy, Matty C, runs the column. Actually, the secretary that was there, the receptionist, she just took the tape and said, yo, I'm going to give it to Matty. And she actually did.
Wow.
And
that's a blessing.
Yo, you got to think about back then, too, because we have cell phones and shit like that. So, well, motherfucker said you leave your number and they're going to call you and say, yo, look, you know, you sitting around waiting at your phone. Like, you don't want to come home to an answer machine message and shit. Like, you know, that shit is important. So you like,
for the kids that don't know, back then we had a telephone that was actually tied to the wall, connected by a string. You couldn't take your phone with you. You actually had to stay home and wait for the call.
Right.
In case you kids don't know how things were back then.
When you wasn't home, you wasn't home. You just wasn't home. Nobody could just call you.
You missed the call. Unless you had an answer machine.
Exactly. You had an answer machine. Sometimes you didn't want to go home and press that message.
Everyone had to share that phone also. So if you had 5 people in the house, everyone had to share the same line.
There was no call waiting like that. You had to pay extra for that shit. And if your mother didn't wait for the telephone company like mine's, your phone bill would be out of hand. Your mother would be yelling at you, get the fuck off the phone. Picking up the phone from upstairs.
You remember that, guys? Your mom would be able to get on your phone.
Right. Yo, I need to use the phone. All right, Ma. So, straight facts, just pick up the phone right there. You up here trying to get pussy. Yo, what's up, yo? You coming through?
Right.
I need to use the phone. All right, Ma.
No, the worst was when your mom would pick up the phone and stay quiet.
Yeah,
and she's hearing what you're gonna do. So what? You guys are gonna do what?
What? She's gonna do what to you in the backyard? You better not come to my house, you little fast ass bitch.
What? Mom on the block.
Tell on the block, son. Anthony Munoz. Straight block.
All right, so now you guys are in the Unsigned Hype. You got the juice, everything. So now, what happens with like? I remember you said somebody called you to ask you to plug in. They are an artist. They wanted to introduce. Can you help them out?
All right. So this guy named Calvin LeBron gives me a call because they.
Who's he? Who's this guy?
He's the DJ for Big Daddy Kane.
Okay.
So Calvin LeBron calls me.
That's Mr. C.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I don't know. I don't know. You said, who the fuck is that? I'm like, Mr. C calls you, okay. So you know him. You must have known Mr. C from the Juice Crew, the H deal. Okay, got you. All right.
So Calvin LeBron calls me. I guess he gets my number from Master Waste, and he calls me and it says, "Yo, look, I haven't seen anybody I've ever known that's ever gotten Unsigned Hype. Like he said, everybody, you know, you're the only person I know that's gotten an Unsigned that I actually know. So it's like, how do I go about doing this?" And I'm like, "Oh, well,
you're the guru now.
I'm the listen. I'm the savior.
You're the plug. You're the plug.
I'm the
You're the plug. You and Matty C.
I'm the plug. How to become the plug for Unsigned Hype now? Okay. I'm the plug, nigga.
So what happened?
So now
what you told him? I got you, son.
I know somebody. I know somebody. You know what I'm saying? Hit up my man. Hit up my man's in there, and maybe we can. Mind you, I lied to Matty. I didn't even hear this dude. I didn't even know what he sounded like. I just lied to Matt. I said, yo, look, Mr. C hit me up and said, you know, he got this artist, and he wanted to see if he can get him an Unsigned Hype. So, first thing Matt says to me, he said, you heard him? I said, yeah, I heard him. Swear to God, I ain't hear it. I ain't know what the fuck this nigga sound like.
Why did you co-sign this guy?
I co-signed it because at the time I looked at it as like a badge of honor. This was Mr. C. This was my favorite MC's DJ.
Got you.
You understand? He's calling me. Like, what the fuck?
You gotta do it. I
gotta push this through. Like, I might get to meet that Big Daddy Kane behind this shit. Like,
you don't want to be like, Kane, you flaked out on my son. You flaked out on my DJ.
You couldn't do this, my nigga. Now I gotta come in and speak up for this dude.
So it didn't even matter.
I'm about to take my spotting bed style. Like, I don't want to do this shit. Like, so I lied and said I heard him. I said, yo, yeah, I heard him. So on the strength of that, he took the tape and he listened to it. And he just happens to fucking like it. This shit was hard. I heard the shit after the fact. Like, I ain't even hear this shit. I'm like,
that's the shit that they be showing with what's his name, DJ 50 Cent, somebody was in the basement, 50 grand.
Rest in peace, 50 grand.
Rest in peace, 50 grand.
There
ain't no half step in the beat.
Was the Blind Alley.
Blind Alley, right?
It was the Blind Alley. It was called Blind Alley. Him using,
Kane
that
joint.
Kane used.
Yeah, okay.
That, made him fucking one of the best fierce MCs in Brooklyn and in the world. So they used that shit, he spun it back, cut the shit live.
I mean, Kane was like a god back in 88.
Yeah.
Time to set it straight. Like, he was like, what you on? Dope or dog food? Like, son, that's what it was. Gotcha.
So for him to do that, to take that iconic sample and for 50 grand and
blaze
that shit and kill it, that was crazy. So after I lied to Matty about the shit, he gets in the Unsigned hype and bam. So the kickback to that story was, being that me and Matty was tight, I used to go up there all the time. I used to go to the source like I worked there, bro. I swear to God. I used to go up there to go get Matty, smoke weed in the staircase.
Okay.
Straight cheese.
So you were the plug. You were the plug.
Get that in there. I knew everybody up there. I knew Dave Mays. I knew everybody. I knew everybody.
So what connection to have,
What's Dave Mays' partner name? The guy that's on Love and
John.
Hip-Hop?
What?
The dude from Made Men.
Oh, Benzino. It was Benzino, Dave Mays, and Jonathan Schechter was a three-head monster that was up there. Jonathan Schechter and Dave Mays.
He was a writer, right?
Right.
Okay.
They was the writers and stuff like that, and Benzino was the
shout out to that crew. I mean, they changed the game with the Source.
Definitely, the Source magazine.
It started off as like a one-pager, right? Wasn't it like a newsletter at one point?
Black and white.
Yeah.
Like 3-4 pages.
Dude, like a newsletter, like a single sheet type joint. And
Two kids from Harvard.
When I was in school and people would whip out the Source, like, yo, I got the Source. It was like we would all gather around.
It's like the Holy Grail.
We would all gather around.
So for me to have inside foot traffic in there almost every day, to a point where that same receptionist bitch, the first time we came there, I ain't no by the way, but that's besides the point. Yeah, but that same chick, that same chick.
Shout out to the receptionist for plugging into Biggie Smalls' deal or whatever she did. S and Biggie, right?
Yeah,
I bet she did a lot. She did a lot.
Stacy, shout out to Stacy.
Shout out to Stacy.
She's from Flatbush too. She live right on Avenue C, on the other side by the car wash. But
anyway, peace.
The first time I went there, she was giving me shade. Stacey was giving her shade because we were nobody. Fucking coming here for Unsigned hype. Fuck you. I don't know you. Who are you? After that, after she saw how tight I was with Manny and everybody else, come on, man, she would just buzz me as soon as I walked through the door. You didn't even ask no questions. I could have came in there with Uzi.
She showed you
killed
love.
everybody I could have killed everybody at the stores.
She showed you
including
love.
her.
She showed you love.
Exactly. I'm like, yo, ain't you Stacy from the stores? Yeah, but that's besides the point. Yeah. But yeah, she's just let me in. So I used to go there, and rest in peace to Chimandu, my dude who took all the iconic photos, all the photos that was in the Source. That photo of Biggie and
rest
Tupac.
In peace.
Chimandu. We used to smoke our fucking face off, bro. I used to go there and pull out people from the Source to go smoke weed with me in the staircase. I was the bad guy. I swear to God. Even though Matty had the weed, but he wasn't gonna smoke until he got off. But
let's go.
Smoke break, motherfucker. He saw my face. Let's go. And the papaya shit was right downstairs, so come on, man.
So who gets so Big's in the Source now. So what happens next?
So one day Big goes up there. So Matty, being that I already told him I knew him, so Matty goes, yo, I got some beats from your man up here. Big is like, my man? Like, what you talking about? Yeah, your man. So he just started playing shit for Big. Big still don't know who I am yet. So he's playing the shit, and 2 of the beats that's on there is One More Chance and Me and My Bitch.
Yeah.
The original one, which was the Barge and Minnie Riperton samples.
That's off of Ready to Die,
right?
Okay.
I ended up making those for me because I wanted to soften up how I started. How I was
you gave them just the big.
Exactly.
That was a
this
good move.
motherfucker calls my phone. Mind you, now Maddie done gave him my number. My phone's ringing. What the fuck is this? So I pick it up.
You go,
Yo, this Lord Digga. Like, yo, I want them 2 beats, y'all. What 2 beats? Yo, the one that sound like the Barge, I want that. I was like, yo, that shit ain't even finished. I don't care, I want that. Just like that, I swear to you. He said, I don't care, I want that. All right, well, fuck you then. I just hung up the phone like, oh shit, this nigga just called me. At the time, like I said, we still don't know what this is gonna turn out to be. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact.
Did you say you can have it?
Of course. He kept the fucking tape. The nigga, he kept the tape. So then he calls me back maybe like 3-4 days later and say, yo, look, yo, Puffy gonna call you with, to come to the studio to lay those beats. Right. And sure enough, Puffy calls me.
So Puff calls. What's his story? What's the tone?
Puff was just like, yo, I need you to get in the studio and lay them things for my man. Just like that.
Or on some fly shit.
On some fly shit. Just like that. Just need to get in the studio and lay them shits for my man. When y'all gonna be available to lay those for my man?
Let's get busy. Let's get
just
to work,
like that.
Gentlemen. Let's get to work.
Let's get to work.
Let's get to the work.
Yo, you
can't stop. Don't stop. Won't stop. Let's go. I'm not mad. Let's hear that shit.
Yo, look.
I hear that hot shit. Let's get to the back.
Let's get to it.
He's a salesman. He got on the phone. He closed the deal.
Mind you. Hold up. Ain't not one contract on the table. Nothing. Not a paperwork in sight. This motherfucker like, yo. So when you going? What? Hey, well, we gonna roll with it. All right, fuck it. So we went there and laid the first 2 shits without no paperwork, not a goddamn contract.
Where you working out of?
We was working out of these 2. Okay, what's the fucking? I always forget this shit. The studio that was off of Broadway in the 20s. And they had 2 entrances to it. They had one on the side and then they had one in the front. It was 2 of them. It was off on the 20s between Broadway and that shit over there. I can't remember.
Don't even matter.
Soundtracks? Or some shit like that. I think it was Soundtracks. But anyway, yeah, there.
All right.
That's when we first started doing the first little laying down of shit without the keyboard scale and all this other little shit and the shakers and all this other shit that he wanted in it.
So you and Norman's in there laying it down
with the ASR. Laying it down without
Is Big in the studio with you guys?
Not yet. He didn't even nope. He wasn't there at this session.
Okay.
It was just a lay down session. He just wanted to get these shits on the reel so he can have them so he can go wherever he wanted to go to do the next session. So he wanted to get all the beats, get all the shit together, and just press play for Big and let Big do whatever he's gonna do. So it wasn't until maybe after we did that session and we had to go and do another one, paperwork comes in. And that's when I started looking at shit. Call my little lawyer. It wasn't really much to read. It was just like some production, little big bad boys was gonna pay you this amount of money for this and this and publishing this. I don't even remember if that was even in the original just like production start contract. It wasn't. That wasn't there yet. This was just an agreement for us to sign and saying that they was gonna pay.
So now, is this a work for hire? Or
yeah, at that point, that's what it was. That's how it started out.
Okay.
And then after the fact, that's when the real shit came. Like the paperwork, the real contract shit was like fucking like 10 pages of shit. So I was like, whoa, now we getting serious now. Like this is.
So how are you feeling at this point? Are you excited? Are you like? Do you think this?
Like I told you, you don't really. I was excited, but kind of like low key excited, like because I didn't know what was gonna happen. I'm learning this on the fly. Things are going in motion. They're moving, but I don't know what's behind that next door.
You probably don't know if Big is gonna be big.
Right. Like I said, we don't know.
We don't
know. We have no idea.
This is just another guy who's unsigned.
I just went through this. I know that we was on to something because, like you said, we was in the Unsigned hype with S and all of that. So at this time, I still don't know. I'm like.
So when you guys get in the studio with Biggs? When does this happen?
That happens maybe 2 weeks after we laid the first initial shits. Like it was like 2 weeks.
So y'all in there? Is it a smoke fest? What's happening? Is this like
It was a smoke fest.
City.
It was a smoke fest. It was a food fest.
Food fest.
So when you meet him, he's not a celebrity.
No,
not a celebrity.
He's
Just a regular guy.
Yeah, he had. I don't even think that he had just. I think he did the party and bullshit thing.
Oh, he's still screaming. He's still like he's not the laid back Biggie.
Right, he's not laid back yet. He didn't get laid back until maybe in the middle of the album where he was like he started to get into he started to get into his own, like maybe in the middle of the album. But that particular session, we was at Unique, and I actually rode up there with them because we stopped on Fulton to go get the green grass.
Chronic, okay.
Go get that. That was Hydro at the time, which was the loud, skunk. It was skunk.
Okay.
You know them green. It was in green bags. Okay. That green bag of that funk that was so strong. That was our loud back then.
So y'all burning it down in the studio.
I like your chains.
Yeah, it was
I
like
feel like
these.
smoking your chains.
Yeah, it was like this.
Can I smoke your chains?
Yeah.
Look at that, guys. Get that in this gorgeous chains.
Yeah, so we was getting that funk.
So you guys are burning it down in the studio.
What? Are you kidding me? It was so, man.
It's going to
and Big
you probably couldn't even see it in front of your fucking face.
I can only imagine.
So Big was smoking it up,
smoking and eating chicken.
Who's in there with you? You,
me, C's,
Junior Mafia, the kid.
All the Junior Mafia. No, Kim wasn't there.
Okay.
Kim wasn't there.
Little C's was there.
Little C's was there. Nino was there. Clep was there. Puff wasn't in there yet. Puff came after the fact. After we was done, he comes walking in later, like on some grand entrance shit. He comes in there with his boy that looks like him. They not brothers.
Who?
I can't think of his name.
Father MC?
No. Oh, that's another one that looks like him too. Mark Pitts.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, he comes in there with Mark and shit, and you know that Mark was Biggie's manager.
Okay.
So
they come into the smoke fest. Like, what's going on?
Like, what's going on? They're acting like, big college guys. Because, we supposed to be the town. We supposed to be uncouth. So they're coming in like, with the business college guy stuff. Like, you guys ain't recording nothing yet? Like, what's going on here? It's a party? Yo, Big, what's up, man? You ain't on it? What you doing? Like, that type of shit. Like, man, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like
definitely a party.
Yeah, it's a fucking party. It's party bullshit. You just did that shit not too long ago. What the fuck you think this is? We got fucking chicken from fucking Crown or whatever. I think it was Crown or Kennedy.
Crown chicken. Kennedy fried chicken.
Right there in Fulton.
With the macaroni salad and the fries.
Man, we was doing all of that.
I got you.
We was doing all of that.
So what were you guys working on during that specific session?
Those sessions,
One More Chance?
Yeah, those sessions was One More Chance, and me and my bitch and somebody else had a joint that he was working on. He had to work on too. I think it was one of the Easy Mo B's joints because like I said, we was the first ones that started laying shit. So it probably was an Easy Mo B joint and then 2 of ours that he was going to do that in that session.
Now hearing him drop the lyrics for One More Chance, did you think when you're producing the song, you're there, he drops the lyrics, are you imagining that it's going to be that big?
No.
What was your reaction?
Because I'm listening to the shit that he's saying originally on this, and it was a lot of curse words and all type of shit. So I already know. Back then, if you got curse words and shit like that, most likely your record's not gonna get played on the radio.
No radio.
So it's no radio. It's no airplay. So once that happened, well, I was just like, I just took it for face value. Like, this shit is hard, but the curse words and shit like that. So if you're not gonna edit those out, we might, it can't be a bigger record than it is. So that's what I was thinking in my head. But when you go and you look, the genius of Puffy, you go and remix One More Chance.
First things first, I pop freaks all the honeys, dummies, playboy bunnies, those wanting money. Those the ones I like, cause they don't get Nathan but penetration.
Smart guy.
One More Chance is his biggest selling record.
Really?
Ever.
That's huge. It's huge. It's a huge record.
Yeah, I'm sure of it. You can't, right now, if you had
it still works now.
If you're going to hear a big record, most likely it's going to be One More Chance.
And Juicy.
One of those two.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack.
But I would say if One More Chance isn't, then it's Juicy. If Juicy isn't, it's One More Chance of his top 2 selling records. It definitely, people may think it's Hypnotized. It's not. It's not Hypnotized. It either has to be Juicy or One More Chance.
That Juicy was no joke. It was all a dream.
Exactly. So that was the genius of now Puff kind of like suiting them up, cleaning them up.
I wasn't a
that
fan
part of it.
until One More Chance. I wasn't a fan of Juicy. I was not. It didn't grab me like One More Chance. One More Chance, I liked it more.
And we got robbed of that too.
Listen,
I'm gonna tell you because we that studio. Okay, one of the sessions that we went to lay that shit, I had that other record in the studio and I played it.
what other record?
The record that they remixed One More Chance with.
Wow.
The other the bars record. I had both of them with the records, and I was just fucking around. I just pulled out the record and I played that record.
Who was in there when you played it?
Puff was in there.
Oh, you heard it?
He heard it.
Got you.
So he's
Puff was
probably
Wait, let me ask you a question.
remix.
So what about the Craig G remix? Dun, 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 dun. Who did that?
That wasn't none.
Oh, okay. Because I heard that was kind of fly too. That was kind of fly too.
No, we didn't. But yeah, he definitely heard that shit, and then he don't produce, so he just called up
You already
whoever
know. No, son.
and said, "Yo, do this."
That's part of the game. You already
do
know.
this.
That's part of the game.
So that's why it was so quick. You gotta remember that remix of that song happened like that. We know the original version because we had the original album with the original version on it, but that one.
But that was mad. It was mad curses in that record, so
exactly.
There was no radio play for that, so there was a
but
genius
when you
move.
heard the remix, it made you want to hear the original song.
Right. So that's what everybody just thought. That's why they started distinguishing between a One More Chance remix and One More Chance original version.
Because when you heard the One More Chance remix and then bought the
And then
album,
the video
you got the
with
original.
Heavy D, rest in peace, and everybody, what's her name,
what
Jeanne,
made-
and
that's what made
and
it-
Faith, and Mary, and
That's
everybody,
what made
it was
so-
crazy.
Hold up, down now.
That's what made it so genius. It made you, like you said, you wouldn't get into it until you saw that.
But then when you bought the album, you got the original version. Because I remember buying the album and I'm like, I like this too. I like the original version.
And that was the version we did. But at that time, like I said, they, sample clearances. First of all, Stevie Wonder, he wrote the song for Many Ripples in that we sampled. So one day, as they were trying to clear samples, we actually was at Bad Boy office. Conference call. Who do we call? Stevie Wonder.
And the roast is George still here? Or did he go home? What's up?
He gets on the fucking phone.
Stevie Wonder.
The
great Stevie Wonder.
The great Stevie Wonder gets on the phone. He's on the speakerphone. We all sitting there. So he goes, I like the song. I just don't want no cursing on it. Just like that. He said, Biggest Smalls, I don't care who he is. I just don't want no cursing on it. And I fucking fell out, bro. I said, this is fucking Stevie Wonder right now on the fucking conference call speakerphone talking about he liked the song, but I just don't want no cursing on it.
Clean it up.
Clean it up. I don't care what his name is. Biggest Smalls, Biggest Smalls. I don't care what it is. I just don't want no cursing on it. Yo, I was in tears, bro.
What did Big say?
Big was just like this. He just stuck. He didn't say nothing. Puffy said some shit. Puffy was like, all right, we understand. All right, we gonna try to fix it up. We gonna try to clean it up, just like that. We gonna try to clean it up.
Okay.
We understand, just like that. Big
must have been
shit.
That must have been a moment for Big. Like,
Yo,
shit,
that
I
shit.
made it.
Yo, Big. Yo,
That's a moment for everybody.
Everybody. Stevie fucking Wonder on
real,
speakerphone
a
in the middle of
genius.
the table. And it was a big ass, it was a fucking conference table. I was like, I was at the end of the table. Big was like sitting here, Puff is over here, and the shit was like sitting in the middle of the table. Like that. Like I was like, oh shit.
When that call was done, what was the conversation amongst you guys?
It was just like, when he said he was gonna call Stevie's people, I didn't know he was gonna call Stevie. He said, I'm going to call his people. I didn't know that he was gonna answer the phone.
They got to answer. He answered the phone?
He answered the phone.
Oh, wow.
It was him that answered the phone because he had it on hold. He said, I'm going to call his people. Then he put it on hold. He had the receptionist call from out there.
Okay, I got you.
And so now they put it
Get him
into
on
the
the line.
room.
Get him
Right,
on the
get him on
line.
the line.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that it's people. It's going to be his people. It was him. He clicked. He said, I got Stevie on the line. Stevie on the line. Everybody was like this. Oh, shit. And then she said, she got Stevie on the line? Click, Yo, Mr. Wonder. Hey, what's up, man? Just like that. I was like, oh, shit.
Just like that.
I like the song, but I don't want no cursing on it. I don't want no cursing on it. Biggie Smalls, I don't care what his name is. Yo, I was in tears, son.
Wow.
Tears. So after that they got rest in peace, Chucky Thompson, to come in when you hear that version of the album. He played some type of keyboard stuff, whatever, and hooked it up. We kept the same drum pattern that I played, all that other stuff, but yeah, that's what you heard. But the
rest is history.
Rest is history.
So then, so what happens now? Everything goes. Everybody's happy.
Yep.
Ready to Die is a success. It's a multi-platinum album.
Yep.
And now
How many times platinum did that album go?
Now
Diamond
10.
now.
It's got
Diamond now.
You got a plaque for that, right? You got
I got 2 plaques. I got the first one for when they went 2 times platinum. Then they got another one for now that is diamond.
Nice.
I bet
They got a plaque for the single.
Has been good to your bank account.
Plaque for the single. For One More Chance.
Nice.
Good for you.
All right. So then now, that all happened. Everybody's sipping champagne. It's all good.
Yep.
It's time for the new album. Ready? What's the other one? Life After Death.
Life After Death.
All right. Do you get the call? Is it like, yo, let's
Get
go?
the call. We get the call. We ready to roll out, and Puffy throws the block. Anthony Munoz, your man Puffy, big.
Wait a minute. Let me come back and say that again. You got a 10 times platinum album. Everybody's happy. Money's been made. You're ready to go.
At that time, it wasn't 10 times yet. It was about
all right. 3 times, 5 times, whatever it is. Okay.
Let's give it 5 times platinum.
The $50 million in.
There you go.
Okay, popping. Who gives you the call? Big is like, yo, Digga, you ready?
Big gives me the call.
Okay.
At this time, he was just moving from where he was into Jersey.
Okay.
So he gives me the call.
Moving from Fulton Street. Where's it at? St. James.
St. James
To Jersey. Got you.
He's got his own crib now. He hits me up and says, "Look, I need whatever you gonna make. I need you to put it on the tape. Take the tape to Puffy at Daddy's house."
But why? Y'all in Brooklyn. Everybody's in Brooklyn.
He's out in Jersey. This is around the time. I don't know if he had the accident yet.
When he had broke his leg.
Right.
Oh, okay, I got
right.
you.
So he wasn't moving around. Like that. He wasn't moving around. So he hits me up and tells me what to do, so I can get this shit to him, because I ain't have no car at the time. Because I would have told him, I said, I want to come to Jersey.
Is this the accident with Little C's?
Yeah,
correct.
Okay.
Right. So this happened right before that. Like, this happened in the process of now working on Life After Death. So he goes, yo, look, get me some shit, put it on the tape, and take it to Puffy at Daddy's house. He's gonna be there today, whatever. Just take him a tape, and he's gonna get the tape to me.
Got you. So
cool.
you go, you get it done. You go see Puff. He's like, yo, he tells you can call him. He's like, yo, come through, whatever.
Just like how we in the studio here, we had dead shit. Look, I walk in the fucking studio. He's standing at the board. I come in, Daddy's house. You come in through this way, so I come in. I see him standing there. He knows why I'm there. I walk up to him and I say, yo, look, Big told me bring me the tape. Make sure he gets it.
So is he like, word, we gonna do this again, bro? It's good. It's happy.
Hold up. At this time, he's not really liking me as much because we failed to sign with him. We didn't want to be a hitman. Puffy tried to sign us. We were supposed to be hitmen. We didn't fall for that. Ken Marsalis called me 100 times. He wanted us to be hitmen. We said, fuck you, Puffy. Fuck out of here. So now it's bias. You understand? So now he's on some...
Wait, is Kirk Burrows still with them?
Yep. So now he's biased.
So when did they come to you to be a hitman? When did that
happen? In the process of now, after the album has sold, we going into now getting ready to, I guess the new budget getting ready to come in to start working on the new album.
So if you become a hitman, is he saying here's the bag? Here's the super bag for being a hitman?
Yeah, basically. But what I knew from that is these niggas getting jerked.
Yeah, was it a super bag or were these guys signing a bad deal?
There was no super bag.
Because a lot of these guys didn't make money.
They was getting jerked. So that's what I knew. I heard from the inside. I'm knowing all of this.
Oh, don't sign
millions of albums.
Don't sign with Puffy. That's the fucking devil from the door. That's the devil with the halo.
The devil with the halo.
Very few people made money with Puff, you know?
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, I never heard that one before.
That's the devil with the halo,
shit.
bro.
Holy shit. So you got the word. Don't fuck around,
do
guy.
it. Don't do it.
Don't fuck
Don't
around.
do it.
Don't play yourself.
Don't do it. Yo,
Okay.
straight cheese, bro.
All right,
you
so-
know.
No, some of those producers had entire careers, made no money, produced huge hits.
Listen,
Yo, that sounds crazy.
Listen,
son.
so the nigga wanted to sign us, wanted to make us hitmen, so we probably would have been no hitmen. We probably wouldn't have making no hits. Only for him.
No, you were a hitman with no money.
No money.
No
Would've been
money
hit.
man.
Would have been. Our pockets would have been hit. Our bank account would have been
pocket
hit.
would've been hit,
My
right.
bank account is hit.
Holy shit.
So once that didn't happen, we get a nigga the hard way to go. Stalemated him.
Oh, so now you coming in. Did you ever get a personal call like, son, sign the paperwork? Well,
No, from his lawyer. His lawyer was calling. You know, Puffy's trying to get
He trying to take care of you guys?
Yeah, Puffy wants to talk to you guys and he want to get you guys on board. On board what, a shit, motherfucker? Only board I know right now is Monopoly, motherfucker.
So you never showed up with a contract and take that.
You're not going to call me for my tracks, buddy.
That's right.
Time out, Dad. Oh, shit.
You're not going
Yo, I'm about to Holy shit. Oh, he said, don't sign with this motherfucker.
Yo, some of those guys, man, are hurting. You ever heard the story? I'm sure you heard the stories now, 10, 20 years later. He starved those producers.
You knew what was going to happen when you bought me. You knew what was going to happen. You knew this. You know I got stories to tell, and these are all true. These is not some made up shit. Like, I've been there. This is not like he just pulled me from somewhere and be like, yo, look, bro. Yo, come tell us some shit about... Nah, bro. I was there. Talking about inception. Like, there. Like, arms folded.
We're back, guys. We needed to take a little break after that Devil with a Halo comment. Really had us rolling there for a while. But take it away, divine knowledge. Let's keep it going.
That was like some real Lucifer shit. Like yo, what are we talking about? No, all right, so
But
okay.
that's how I saw it. Bro.
That's how you felt.
That's how I
you
felt.
felt how you felt. Good thing somebody warned you, right?
Yeah,
you could have been
warned me about,
you could have been a victim right now.
Being a hitman. They was taking hits in their pockets.
You wouldn't be getting no checks right now.
No, I probably wouldn't.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. Not even the remnants. Nothing around the corner.
So you didn't get on the Life After Death. You didn't get nothing on that.
Oh, you didn't get nothing on Life After Death. Took the tape to Puff. You know, this shit was bugged too because when I left from there, as I was leaving, I turned around to him and I said specifically, "Yo, make sure Big gets this tape."
And what do you say?
The niggas like, yeah. Alright, you gonna get it? I'm gonna get it to him. Some shit like that while he's standing at the board. Like he said some kind of
Did he
like
look at you?
snide, like he looked at me but looked at me like I'm gonna get it to him, like, you know, one of those kind of looks, because he was at the board, like he was like standing like, you know, like over here, and as I'm walking out, I say to him, yo, make sure, you know, I turn around and say, yo, make sure Big get the tape like that, make sure we get it, and he was like, yo, you know, you gonna get it, I'm gonna get it to him. Never happened. I called Big maybe a week later. Yo, you get the tape? No, I ain't get it. 3 weeks after that, couldn't no more contact with Big. He was changing his number. You probably saw the interview when he was talking about, you know, I think people trying to kill me and all this other stuff. Okay, he had just moved into that crib, and people was calling his crib saying, "I'm gonna get you, fat motherfucker. Yo, you this, you that. Yo, motherfucker, you better watch your back." He had just moved, just got that number, and niggas was doing that already. Now, mind you, when I talked to him on the phone, you could hear like it sounded like 100 motherfuckers in that crib. You could hear Kim's voice. You can hear everybody in the background, and he's talking to me like he's in the room, like, you know, in the room, like trying to like keep me away from all the fucking noise, and he could talk and talk. Yo, damn. Like I said, 3 weeks later, I couldn't even talk to him no more. No more contact. Changed his number. And when I seen him after that, he still didn't get the tape. He told me what happened. He said, "Yeah, I changed his number because niggas was playing on his phone, and I never got the number back from him." 3 weeks after that, he's dead. Damn. Just like that. Just that fast. Because the album, everything was done. They did this album quick. So it wasn't even like time had passed, bomb. I came back. I saw him. I came up there, and this is what happened. Reverse. I had already played him the music already, but I couldn't give him that tape because I had other shit on it. So I went back to take up made him his own tape because I met him at Daddy's house. He came up in the same fucking car they had the accident in. He comes up, but it was another one. They had got another Lexus, and he had the cane and everything. He already had the accident, and I was sitting in the car playing him shit from the car. And that's when he said, come back here, bring the fucking music, put the shit on the table, and come back here and bring the tape back to Puff. That's how it happened. Because I was trying to remember, like, how the fuck did I... Because I remember talking to him, and that's how that happened. I remember him telling me that's what he needed me to do. So I came back up there, boom, gave Puff the tape. But, you know, less than 4 weeks later, after that other initial shit, he was gone.
Man, rest in peace, Biggie. That's crazy.
My God, man.
That's a loss for hip hop, for the world, for all of us. We were big fans of the Brooklyn. We felt that. We was like, that was our guy.
Do you have any comments or any theories about his death? What was the cause of it, or who might have done it?
Remember when we was talking about, I was at ASCAP learning about the music business from the inside out. All right, cool. You're worth more dead than alive in the music business, especially if you're a star. You're worth more dead than alive. Your publishing is worth more than anything you can think. Especially, it's the way people think, you know, you giving up certain amount of percentages and shit like that. You shouldn't give up shit. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to keep you with you up afloat. In the sense of your publishing coming in 3 months later, 6 months later, 9 months later, 12 months later, whatever that is, on the back end, that's what's going to, especially if you are now that artist that has made those sales or made those streams, or you know you doing what you supposed to do, and your shit is popping, you're going to get that money. So, you know, when you look at artists that were super successful, even back in the days, we're not even talking about now. We're not talking about 90s and whatever rap. We're talking about even back in the days. Your publishing is worth your life.
Like Elvis Presley.
Exactly. Your publishing is worth your life. So if you talk to the Temptations and the OJs and these people from back in the days that wasn't getting what now, they missed out on a lot of bread because of not knowing the nuances of the ins and outs of a contract and this and that. You know, if they doing this shit to us now in the 90s, what the fuck they was doing to them?
So do you think his death was just a business transaction?
I'm gonna go like this. All I know is this. Not to put a damper on your whole thing with Puffy and all that other stuff. It's, from what I know, whenever they travel, Puff is always with them. Meaning, they in the same car together. Always. They, especially on the road, because Puff is like slash his road manager slash his label owner, you know, all wrapped up in one. So for him to not even be in that car with him, there was a red flag already. Red flag. I'm not saying he didn't pull the trigger, but he knew what happened. He knows what happened.
Why was he even? I don't know. Why the fuck was he even in Cali? I don't understand that.
I told Big. As a matter of fact, we had one of those conversations.
I'm saying, like, we had one of those conversations. Real nigga shit, like, you told your son, you're not going to Cali.
We had one of those conversations.
Especially after everything that went down with Tupac.
Right. We had one of those conversations, and he said,
Wait, you told him that you should not be going to Cali.
Don't go. We had that conversation. This is before now, when I couldn't get in contact with him no more. That's when I told you that he changed his number again. We had that conversation because this was being talked about.
Wait, so before he changed his number,
right? He had already. We was talking about this because I guess this was already in the plan. It must have been a part of, like, you know, when you putting together your promotional thing.
But he was out there to work on Duke's album.
Who?
Right? Wasn't he out there working on somebody else's album? Or he was?
They went out there. The album was done. They went out there to now promote the single, which was Hypnotized. So they already had this in motion as far as like maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks before this even happened.
Because you have major beef with dudes on the West Coast. Right. They man just got killed not even a year before, and you moving around out there? Like, for what?
Well, this is all, to me, this is all set up through Puffy. This is all his doing. This is all something that he knew. He knew that it could be danger, it could be whatever, but he wasn't going to be the one that was in danger.
Let's put him to the side.
Right.
Put Puff to the side. Big, as a Brooklyn dude, knowing how shit goes in the streets of New York, do you go to enemy territory and lay up there and chill? Is that
we don't, but here's the thing. Okay. Me and you. This is me and you. If you tell me or make me feel comfortable and say, yo, bro, don't worry. We good. And we making this money together and we doing whatever, it's probably going to be lowered a little bit. You understand me?
The man just got murdered out there, bro.
I know, but hold on. That was in Vegas. It wasn't in Cali. Got murdered on the West Coast, but he didn't get killed in Cali. He got
the gangbang capital of the United States.
Right. But if you're telling me, don't worry about it, I'm going to trust in him.
So you think Puff was just like, hey, don't worry about it.
This I'm trying to tell you. If Puff is telling you, yo, look, man, we need to...
Nah, son.
He's going to have a certain influence.
Fuck what he's telling you, son. I'm saying as a man, as a grown-ass man out here, real guy in the street, yo, son, I'm not going over there. I'm sure mad people had to tell son, don't go over there. Like, what the fuck you doing over there?
Well, maybe he assured him, you know, hey, listen, we have security.
How can he assure you that nothing's like these gangsters that's out here running around
because he's probably done it before. He's probably paid niggas and he's probably had them around the Crips, probably had them around, like, you know, riding the car next to them and stuff like that. It's probably been done before. So Big had that aura of comfortability with it being done before, and he trusted him.
All right.
That's the only thing I could think of that would make him put his guards down to say, all right, you know, we've done this before. You know, we had the protection, we had the niggas that's looking out for us or whatever. And he put his guards down, and that's what he did. He just made that decision to say, all right, fuck it. We're only gonna be out there for a day or two. We're gonna go do
he was out there for a while, bro. He was out there for more than a week. He was out there for a while.
He now has some newfound wealth. Puff has money. When there's money around, you kind of feel indestructible sometimes. Like you can just do anything, get through any wall. Because that's what money does. Money makes walls disappear.
He was younger too. You know what? He died was 25, 27, something like that.
I just turned 50 this year. It would have been his 50th.
No, I think Big was like 24.
No. I'm saying now his 50th birthday. So at that time when he's under 24, about
24.
Yeah, 25. So
we all make bad decisions.
Wait. You gotta think about that. Now, okay. I could go and say my bad decision was going up to New London, Connecticut to sell crack. Bro, I was telling my mother...
But nobody wasn't looking for you. They wasn't looking for you in New London.
Right, but at that time, I was young, kind of stupid.
You know what I'm saying? And they smoking high-powered drugs and all kind of stuff.
You understand?
So, and it's like whatever.
But then you throw the money in the mix.
Right.
You say, hey, I'm going to hire all the securities I need. I'm going to hire all the bulletproof cars I need. Money makes you feel unstoppable.
I got you.
And think about it. You're a young man. You didn't have much money.
Bro.
You now sold 5 million albums.
I hear you, but I'm saying, bro, I don't think niggas is going to be moving around out there like that. I'm not going out there. Like, nah, son just got murdered in Vegas.
No, you're right.
And the dudes that murdered son was from Cali. Like, and dudes love son out there, and there's a big East Coast, West Coast beef. I'm not there. I'm not going there, bro.
Yeah, I'm not going.
I wouldn't have went.
Nah,
I'm not going. I'm just saying. I'm just using that as a scenario.
It's just, and it was you. I'm like, I trusted you like that. Bizarre,
he should have gone to the strip club and just done this instead of going.
Rest in peace, B.I.G. You know what I'm saying? Yo, prayers for him, for his soul. You know what I'm saying? Prayers for his family, his mother, especially Mrs. Wallace, and his son.
I guarantee if Big was still here right now,
crazy.
Probably would have ended up giving him probably like 3 more singles, because of all the shit that I produce now that nobody that's even comparable of even rhyming on and even making great songs. You can probably rhyme on it, but it's about the songs that he made. It wasn't about the rhymes. A lot of people can rhyme. It's the songs that he turned those tracks into.
Look, there's also a huge rumor that he was gonna leave Bad Boy.
Of course, that wasn't no rumor.
You know, he was gonna leave Bad Boy. He was noticing that he wasn't getting paid the money that he was supposed to get. There was a huge rumor that he might go to Rockefeller. That would have been huge.
He was gonna go with Lance.
The commission, you know.
Rivera had started his own label, Un Entertainment, and he had just gotten like maybe like $80 million or some crazy shit like that. Or some crazy number it was. I don't know if it was that. But that's where he was going. Entertainment was going through Big B, Atlantic Records, which now Junior Mafia and Little Kim is.
So you think he would have gone with Un?
Of course he
But
would.
he probably could have got a better deal going to Clive. I mean, they already put Mad Brendan in his, they invested in him crazy.
He was gonna go with Un and become Un's partner. He was gonna become like the Puff of Un shit. And being that he was already writing for Kim and Junior Mafia, see that there we go.
And they was already signed to that.
There you go. Wow! This is a home run hit all the way. You got the hit maker in the
It was
house.
already platinum. Yeah, the Little Kim shit was platinum.
Right.
Junior Mafia was
Biggie
gold
is
or something like that.
You don't with that situation. You gotta look at this. That's the only the groups that you didn't really have to promote because Big said they name every other fucking line. Junior Mafia, Little Kim. There's your biggest promotion
Un
right
also
there.
had Charlie Baltimore,
Right,
who was
that's what I'm trying
affiliated
to
with
say.
Biggie, and then
All of those things.
And then he also sent Cameron, who Mace brought to his house, and he sent him to us.
That's where Big was going.
I would have loved to see Big work with
He
Cam.
was gonna. That's what he was gonna do. He was gonna work hand in hand with Un, and he was going to Junior Mafia, Little Kim, make sure their songs are good, write for them, and make sure they're good, and then still do what he was doing. That was the next move, and that was happening. So
On what label was the Junior Mafia album dropped?
Big Beat.
Okay.
I think it was Big Beat Atlantic or something like that.
It's all nasty work, guy.
Yeah.
It's real nasty fucking work.
Like I said, you're worth more dead than alive when you talk about publishing. So when you look at now when this guy goes and does that song, you know, with Every Breath, you know, doing the song about Big, which
Every night you stay, I'll be watching you. It's kinda hard with you not around. Know you in heaven smiling down.
you know, even with that, you know, he made a lot of money with that song, and he turned around and gave Big Moms like $1 million. Like, what the fuck was that, bro? Like, you made way more money than that off of that song.
I heard Sting
Still
took
charging
the
him
money.
for samples right now. He's still charging.
Yeah, I heard that they.
But overall, he made way more than $1 million off of Big.
Yeah.
The Life After Death album, that was a huge
Yeah,
album.
he
He's
gave his
made
mother
those
$1 million,
duet
bro.
albums. Born Again, he did like 4 albums. So even after the 2 albums, there were like
you
2
done remastered
more albums.
You done remastered motherfucking Ready to Die like 3 times. Like, what the fuck?
For his mom to
And give
get
his
$1
mom $1
million.
million on the stage. Like, I remember, like, right after that happened, maybe after the, you know, the height of the song, it was some award show. I don't know if people remember, but he came on and gave her $1 million, big $1 million check. Like, this is, the fuck? Are you serious right now? That should have been at least 10 off the rip. You know how much money you gonna make off this guy's publishing? Every little thing that, even if, especially if he's on the song, yeah, Bad Boy, all that, that's, you go down as a writer. And all you said was Bad Boy. Huh.
Oh no, he credits himself even more. Like he's the producer, he's everything. Mace talks about it. Mace has a bunch of interviews now that he's like, listen, I wrote this song, I did this song, and I got no credits for it.
Listen, be careful, artists that's out here. I want to make it big. Your publishing is worth more than your life, bro. They will drop you. Like, drop you in the ground 6 feet under for that publishing. That shit means a lot. Whew. A lot. A whole lot.
I look at these things like pieces of real estate.
You motherfucking right.
These are pieces of real estate because
is.
you have these huge songs that make you money for a long, long time.
Yep.
They sell them. I mean, these are huge pieces of real estate
They
that
will drop you
appreciate
in the
in
ground
value.
for that. They will drop you in the ground for that. You think I'm bullshitting? Alright. Right before Whitney Houston died, she got $100 million from Clive Davis. The money goes to her heir, which is her daughter. Oh! Her daughter dies. You know where the money goes now? It goes back to Clive Davis. It's as simple as that. Nobody has it. It goes back to Clive. He has it. That's all I gotta say. If you think I'm bullshitting, go look it up. Nobody could. Sissy Houston couldn't take her money. Her daughter, the money would go to her. Her daughter dies, money goes back to Arista.
Well, now we're seeing there's a new trend that I'm seeing. I was reading in Barron's this morning, actually. yesterday morning, and they're showing how people are liquidating their catalogs.
Yeah, I saw that.
People are selling catalogs,
Yeah.
300 million.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, look at Lil Wayne. He just sold, I think it was Drake's and Nicki Minaj's, like 50%. Whatever stake he had on their publishing, he sold it for like 100 million or something like that.
Yeah, that's what's
200
happening.
million. I think he needed like 10
I
million.
think David Bowie sold some
Yeah.
for 300 million. And,
Yeah,
you know, it's
a lot of the
money.
country guys.
I guess they want to get paid now.
Yeah,
before they go.
While they're still alive, cash out. You know.
Cash out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's happening.
For that type of bread, it makes sense. That's a great business move.
Yeah.
All right. So let's on a lighter note. Let's say. So who else? You did something. The Brooklyn Zoo with ODB.
One man on me ain't showing. I never been tooken out. I keep MCs looking out. I drop signs like Crosby dropping babies. Enough to make a nigga go crazy.
All right, let's go through the liner notes here. Yeah. Outside of working with Master Trash and that bullshit, I picked up a lot of, me and Noah picked up a lot of remixes.
Okay.
That we got paid good money for. Meaning, with remixes you don't get publishing. You get money up front. They pay you whatever you're asking for that particular, whatever that is, so you don't get any publishing for that. So, in the course of that, we started doing the remixes, especially when we was in the Sony system. Like, Sony just throws away money like Sony Columbia.
They got it.
They cut checks with their eyes closed.
I mean, the kind of money they got,
I swear to God, like this, come on, man. Get this fucking guy in my office. $10,000? That's it? Get him out. So, Sony had artists they was trying to develop. One of the groups that they had was called this group called Mysterious Misfits.
Okay.
All right. They were ex-Mariah Carey dancers. So they put together this group, Mysterious Misfits. So they called us up. Yo, we need you to do work on this group with us, for us, and give us some remixes and shit like that. Cool. I didn't know how much they was paying. I just said, right, fuck it, let's go. We want all money. That's when the shit was just coming in. So I was like, yo, fuck it. So we go up there and bomb, 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 bomb. Long story short, my ex-manager Brian Leach, shout out to Brian Leach, links us in with this shit, and we're getting $10,000 a fucking remix starting from there. Right. So I did 2 joints. We did 2 joints. I did this joint called Upside Down, which I took actually a sample from Diana Ross' Upside Down song. I did that in this song called I'd Be, which was a remix for Mysterious Misfits. So we got $20,000 from that. So now somebody hears about that. Dante Ross, my man, who was the A&R for us at Delicious Vinyl. His name was Orlando Aguian at Delicious Vinyl, who had this label over there called Brass Records, and this other label that he was running through there that had Brand New Heavies. I don't know if you remember that group, and a couple other things he was doing. He knows Dante Ross, who was running
it's a clique. They all know each other.
Epic, which had Old Dirty Bastard. So he was like, yo, look, man, you got some Electra.
Okay.
So he goes, yo, we looking for remixes for this song. Yo, you got anybody in mind? So he was like, yo, give me a second. Lando calls me and said, yo, look, I'm going to get you vocals for Old Dirty Bastard's Brooklyn Zoo remix, to do a remix for Old Dirty Bastard. So what do I send the DAT? Because back then we had, the vocals was on time MIDI code on the DAT tape. Not the ADAT, DAT tape. So now he sends it with the time code vocals. You hear the fucking little, that sound, that digital sound playing in the back. Then the vocals start. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? This like, what the fuck? Like, what? How the fuck do we attack this? This is crazy. Like, how you hear the song, this is how these acapella vocals are playing. Out of nowhere. This shit's just all over the place. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how do we attack this shit? Because he's talking to the beginning, ha 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 ha, shame on you, motherfucking, and all this shit. I'm like, how the fuck do you attack this? So we started just putting up shit, making tracks first, and then we'll go let it ride, and then try to link up the DAT with the pressing the button on the ASR at the same time, bloop, and to see if it'll let it run. So it starts running, and now his vocals is on top of the beat, and it's riding out, and it's like, I'm like, all right, we might have something. So now, it's hard to quantize shit on the ASR, so we just fuck it. Say, look, record this shit. Hit play. So the shit ran all the way through. Nice beat. And it wasn't the original. It worked, but it wasn't the one that we heard. The original shit. So I said, yo, we should just do another one just to be sure. So we'll have 2 versions. Just in case they don't like that shit, I want to land this. We need to land this shit because we'll be the first niggas that fuck with some Wu-Tang shit. Nobody ain't fuck with this. Like, there's only Wu-Tang members that fuck with Wu-Tang records.
Right.
We
ain't giving out nothing.
Giving out shit. Right. So if we can land this, nigga, we got to do this. So I was like, yo, look, let's try to come up with something else. So you had this shit. This we had the I forgot which was it. Temptations or one of them shits. I forgot, man. Whispers. It was the Whispers. He had this Whispers record, and this shit sounded like some Chinese shit at the beginning. I'm like, yo, that shit sound like some Chinese shit. Like, that'd be ill. We could use that. Wu-Tang, Chinese. Let's do this. Loop this shit up. Fucking around with the shit. Like, yo, this shit look like it might lock in, bro. Hit play. Boom.
Yeah, what?
That nigga dirty. He ain't saying nothing. Fuck him.
I'm the one-man army, ain't on. I never been taken out. I keep MCs looking out.
We got 2 versions. We gonna take this shit. We gonna send it to Dante Ross,
and they loved it.
Loved it. Nigga, what? Hold up. The kicker, he liked the first version. The first one, he liked that one. He was like, yo, I want to do this one. So you know me, I ain't like that version. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna find a way to finagle this shit. So he calls us in to lay the shit down in the studio. No one wasn't there. I don't know when no one was, but I went. So we had to rent the equipment. You heard he was talking about you have to rent out everything. Mm-hmm. You know, so we went to SIR, got the fucking SP1200 in the fucking ASR, rented in the room. So now I'm sitting in there, I'm like, yo, I don't like this version. I gotta find a way to not make this one go through. So what I did was, I moved the numbers in the SP1200. It's supposed to lock in at 80.5. I moved it to 79.2. So at some point, it's going to tail off as the song is going. It's going to tail off. It's going to drift off. So I did that 3 times. I was like, man, this shit keep drifting off. It didn't do this at home. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, yo, Dante, man. Yo, just try it again. I did it 4 times. I already knew. Shit's going to tail off. I know the other one gonna lock in perfect though, cause I did that shit like about 5 times. The other one's gonna lock in. We should just use the other one. All right, man. Whatever, man. Just do it.
So you got the one you wanted through.
Swear to God, I went just like that. So I went back over to the SP1200 and put the right number in. Play.
Shenanigans. That's a little worse.
Ha 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 ha! Ding 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 ding. Then you hear it.
Did he love it?
Oh, what? What? He went bananas. I see him 4 months later. We had to go to film for Yo MTV Raps, where they filmed the shit right off on 42nd Street on between 10th and 11th.
Okay.
At 42nd Street in the city. They got this one, one of them little whatever shits, they production centers shits that you would never even know they filmed.
The industrial space.
Right, you wouldn't even know that it's in
the warehouse looks like. You
wouldn't even know it's in there.
Gotcha.
So we go there and shit because we got to film our segment. So we sitting in the fucking green room, we chilling. It's fucking like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, yo, fuck, I want to smoke, I'm gonna chill. Fucking door opens. Hey son, you need to come through the fucking door. He ain't seen me since I did the remix, so he didn't get a chance to tell me how much he really liked this shit. Talking. Yo, let's go get a 40, man. Nigga, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, man. We out there drinking fucking 40s, nigga, in Manhattan. 9 o'clock in the morning, we both got 40s. We come back with fucking 3 40s in the green room. Everybody looking at us like, that's not breakfast. Like, you give a fuck. Me and old dirty bastard is drinking 40s, nigga. Are you serious right now? I don't give a fuck, nigga. What the fuck you talking about, nigga? Like, this is ODB, nigga. This is Wu-Tang. I'm who I am. Yeah, we know who that is, but they a little bigger than us. So, yeah, this is...
It don't matter that it's not in the movie. Right. Pop that open. Let's rock. Let's do this.
And we sat there and he told me how much he appreciates it. I didn't get to talk to you about that, man. He told me, this is fire. Even though I don't think fire was the word back then, but yeah. He
definitely has to have respect because it's very hard to come up with a beat. Such an unorthodox artist. I've seen the recording process. If you have an artist who just sings normal, you can make a beat around. But something like ODB, such unorthodox lyrics must have been a real tough challenge for you.
Anybody that knows, especially Des. Neve, flying fader board. Neve, flying fader board, Des. Neve, flying fader board. His vocals are
The
playing.
automation joint.
His vocals are playing, so now we gotta do the clean version. The faders are going everywhere. Shame on the no, faders going. Yo, this shit was hilarious, son. This shit was stupid. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, I'm talking about Quicksilver, nigga. Like, shame on the no, faders going up. Cutting off everything.
How many hours did you work on that?
Like, I don't know, maybe like 3 hours, maybe. Because we didn't stay for the whole mixing process. I just wanted to make sure that everything was, all of the sounds of that loop and everything was good. You could hear the, you could hear all that shit. I left after that. After I already finagled Dante, look, it's time for me to go now. I don't want to stay no longer.
Everybody loved it.
Hey, we loved it. I finagled them. The rest is history. To sit there now and be like, you really like that shit, Dante? Look, I'm out, nigga. I'm gone. You back? I'm gone.
So now the question is, for you, what's up next for Lord Digga?
Oh shit, man. Wow. All right. I don't know if you noticed. Got these nugs.
I noticed it. I'm trying to smoke.
I've been involved or just been around when we was younger. Reefer, weed, whatever the fuck you want to call it. When we didn't know what it was, we just smoked and we got the munchies and we wanted to just smoke more and get more munchies and eat and do bullshit and laugh and joke and shit. We didn't really know what the properties was and what it was and whether it was medicine or not medicine, medicinal and to whatever. All of these things didn't have no idea about. So now, as I've gotten middle-aged.
Yeah, middle-aged man.
Middle-aged man show.
Middle-aged man show. I've learned within now, the last 20 years of what this shit is, what the power of the plant is. So I've been, no pun intended, infusing my music in with cannabis.
Okay.
So, and as time, I've never put out a solo project until 2015. So my first solo project was an album,
First Bake,
which was my take on, I love for sports, which is
the First Take joint.
First Take show where you go in the morning and everybody wakes up and
Stephen A. is going in.
Stephen A. Smith is going in with this guy and the next guy and the chick or whatever. So my love of that made me infuse those two. And I made my first EP in 2015. All about weed. Every song is about weed. Like, we have Redman, Method Man. They rap about weed. They talk about it, but that's touching on it. Me, I actually rap 7 songs all about weed, no other topic.
Everything we gotta hang out more often. You and me, we gotta go hang out. I know you guys hung out. You and I never hung out.
We gonna hang out.
It looks like you and I like a lot of the same things.
Yeah, we need to. Yeah, we need to do that. Definitely.
So is there a new project coming up?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 of them. The first one should be a project called Snap. It's another EP. This one is not about weed though. This is about just me snapping and just me being who I am and just
snapping. Well, comedy, like
snapping and with the music, meaning snapping vocally, snapping that too. Comedy too. That's another thing.
Okay.
We can talk about that. I've done 3 comedy shows recently. Yeah, that's the first album EP. Shout out to my label overseas, KML, Clan Music Lab. We got another one called shit. I don't got the title of that shit. Rap Illustrated, which is another play on sports because of the Sports Illustrated magazine. I liked Sports Illustrated back in the day, so I'm going to do an album called, I just started, it's called Rap Illustrated. So we got that, and then countless other little projects that I've been working on, which is all bud related. My OG, Busy B, who's the first, labeled as the first solo MC in rap, Busy B. Been working with him. We had a couple of songs that we've done together.
The legendary Busy B?
Legendary Busy B.
Nice.
If you go look that up, we got a song called Smoke On with featuring me, Busy B, and Real One, and then a song called Strive, which was recorded for some movie that they were supposed to be doing. A movie called Strive. Okay. It was supposed to be on HBO or something like that. We did that as well. And he was just here. They as a matter of fact, Real One and Busy B just left. It was something that was going on in the Bronx for Queen Lisa something. She was
the Hip Hop Museum?
Right across the street from there where they're going to build it at.
Right.
We was there yesterday, and he was there. We were supposed to perform, but some other technical issues happened, but he got to perform. Shout out to that. And the Art of Rap Tour. I think we're about to be joining that.
Nice.
We got 30 dates coming up. I think we're about to be joining the Art of Rap Tour. Me,
Very
Busy
nice.
B, and Real One. Yeah, that part of it. Just countless. I'm working in the cannabis industry. That's something we got to talk about too on that side. I've been doing that now really hard for like 7 years.
Okay.
7, 8 years that I've been inside of it now. Like, we have this thing, education before recreation, where we are trying to teach people about cannabis and the properties and what it does, and sativas to indicas and to CBDs to all of these things. I am now fully have my hands all into that. You understand? Like before, it was just, like I said, it was just the smoke. Let's smoke and just fucking eat chips and fucking do bullshit. Now I'm actually working with doctors and that can get you medical marijuana cards, that can, shit like that on both sides of it.
So you're involved in the medicinal properties.
Yeah, everything.
I got you.
So it's a beautiful thing how laws are evolving now,
Of course.
especially here in New York.
Of
Now,
course.
you can enjoy
Of
your
course.
reefer, your marijuana.
Yeah.
Go do your thing.
So like,
You could
see,
be a
like
middle-aged
stuff like
man.
this, bags of it. You know what I'm saying? Just all over the place.
Do you have your own brand?
I'm working on that now. My pre-rolls, packaging, all of that type of stuff. So
Okay.
I keep this stuff with me.
You're an entrepreneur.
I'm a gantrepreneur.
Ganjapreneur.
Is that Pablo Escobar?
It sure is. Take a look at that.
Pablo Escobar.
Edibles.
He's getting a look at Pablo.
You do all of this type of stuff.
So do you guys have a website? You want to shout out your website?
You can link me on Instagram at The Highest Man Alive, and I can send you to wherever you need to go, which will probably be me. You'll be coming back to me.
Pablo.
See all this stuff?
Pablo.
These edibles. Shout out to
Big shout to Pablo.
Selfie Stick. We got edibles. We have everything.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go to the backyard now and.
He's gonna go to the backyard. That's the meeting room.
That's all right.
This is what I do now.
Okay.
It's a very lucrative business. It's a great business.
I'm gonna have a bag full of this shit. Don't try to roll on me because you're gonna get the shit kicked out of you. But yeah, don't get any funny ideas because I fight for real. I don't carry guns. I can't anymore because I got arrested in '97. So they told me I can't carry firearms anymore. Darn gone.
Can I legally make a purchase now?
You sure you can? You can make a purchase.
But question: do you have now? Is there any new artists that you're bringing out? As far as the music is concerned?
Not really. I mean, I'm still working with some of the same people that I was working with back in the days. Like, not. I got my dude. I got my youngin'. Like I call him my little nephew. He go by the name of RSM. We got this joint that we about to do for football. Actually, we shout out to my team demo production.
Team Demo, what are they out of Cali?
Out of Virginia. Northern
Okay.
Virginia. We took the theme music from Sunday Night Football.
Okay.
And we're going to try to get them to use this as part of the theme song for Sunday Night Football. Obviously, I'm going to have to take out the curse words. Mine, because I don't think he said too many curse words, but me, I'm going to have to take mine out.
Let me ask you.
I might just not have them added in there, period, because I didn't record it yet, so I could delete them now.
Let me ask you. Your brother shot Stimuli.
Uh-huh.
Are you going to do a project for him? Do some
I mean, I worked on this first project. You know, the first project I did one song on there.
We want Shaw to come out of retirement. Tell him we waiting for a joint.
I mean,
You
I
and
think
the
he's just become lazy now. He's just want to sit around and do stuff like this, like talk about rap. Him and his homeboy. They
I
do
saw that podcast.
No Bars Off or something like that.
So shout out to Shaw.
You know,
What's his boy's name? But the No Bars Off podcast.
Yeah, shout out to the No Bars Off crew. I forgot his man's name, but yeah, he's lazy right now.
That's divine.
He just got my nephews.
When guys get older, they want to relax. You know, you know, I'm a middle-aged man.
He's not middle-aged yet. He's not middle-aged
yet.
No. He's not us. He's not middle-aged. He's not
middle-aged.
He's getting close to it. But yeah, he just wants to be with my nephews. He got his 2 sons, and you know,
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna come out of retirement. I'm just gonna hold it down for a little while, and then I'm gonna. That's what I tell people. I just want to dance around on stage for like another 5 years. That'll be it for me. I'm good.
So you're enjoying what you're doing?
Of course, this shit is fucking fun. You know, I can't play football, so this is my daredevil shit. I don't ride motorcycles. I ain't doing semi-pro football no more. I don't weigh 240 pounds, so I'm not out of breath. You know, trying to rap for like 40 minutes on stage. This shit is just fun, bro. Like, I don't even feel no weight. Age part of it being middle age and all that shit, I don't even think about that shit. Once that mic is in my hand, you think I'm 20 years old. Like, you wouldn't be up there going, yo, he need to give it up, bro. Like, you heard that shit? Like, to the back with him. Off his head. Like, none of that shit. Like, before that would happen, I would have been gave it up, bro. You know, we don't like to be embarrassed. We Pisces. We don't like
here in the Middle Age Man Show, 40's the new 20, 50 makes you about 25.
Yeah, right now, I'm 28 years old.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
Look at me. Look at the fuck I got on. Half of the shit I couldn't even wear when I was growing up because my mother wouldn't buy it. So I had my own money. I just buy $190 hoodies for nothing. Like, what the fuck? Like, that makes you feel like you're 28. Everything I have on is fucking polo except for my Reeboks. I mean, like, what do you want?
Well, listen, I definitely want to check out your boy. Keep me informed with your son, with his career. He playing ball at Lincoln.
Cleats from East Bay because he was a size 13.
Nice.
Yeah, he can't even wear my shoes.
He's an offensive lineman.
Yeah, he's gonna
left tackle. You said, right?
Yeah, I think that's the spot. That's the
money
spot.
for Ohio State.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get him on Ohio State.
So what's you 6'3", 250?
6'3", 243 pounds.
And how old is he?
He's 14.
That's amazing.
He wears size 13.
Fellas, that's what it's all about. When you're a middle-aged man, be there for your kids.
Listen,
it's all about being there for your kids.
I wear size 12. I didn't get into a 12 until after we got out of high school. I was wearing 10 and a half, 11. Till one day I went to Get Set to go try on some shoes, and niggas like, you don't wear 11. You wear a 12. I thought after 19 your feet stop growing. That's what they said.
Well,
this motherfucker is in a 13 now, and he's 14. I told him, if you don't stop, bro, you're going to have to get the sneakers that they have in the store. You can't get the sneakers that you want. Because you're going to have to only get, because they only bring 2 13s to a store, bro. And the fly shit, if you don't know that. For anybody that don't know. You're only going to get 2 13s, maybe 1 to a store for all sneakers. You get 2 12s to a store. I'm telling you this.
10 and a half, they get a bunch.
You get a bunch of those. There's a common size. 9s, 10s, 10 and a halves, 11s, you're going to get a bunch of those. But 12s and 13s, those are limited. So once your fucking feet start to get like, what do you call those, flippers that you go skiing, that goes scuba diving with, once you get flipper feet, you might not have any sneakers that are fly. You might just have to get like the rapist sneakers. The ones that look all wide on the side, like the extra wide shit that you look, yeah, you're going to get no fly Jordans and shit like that. So Nehemiah, Jordan Ellis, I'm warning you. I'm going to have to cut your toes off because you're at a 13 already.
Well, listen. Thank you for coming out. We appreciate it. We had a good time today. We covered a lot. We covered a lot today.
Yeah, we covered a lot.
It was a lot.
I want to come back and wait to come back.
Yeah, we'd love to have you come back. We'll definitely have you back.
Talk about some other shit. Or maybe I'll be able to talk about him in school and see if he's pushing people around.
For sure.
You want to bring him along? Bring him along.
Yeah, I'll bring him along so you can see it for yourself. I don't have to tell you. He's going to have to duck when he comes in. It's fucking.
You must be very proud of him, though.
Yo, I love that kid to death, man. Like, you know, first of all, he's born on the same day as me. He's born March 5th.
Look at another Pisces.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Same day, bro. So you already know.
Peace, we love it.
How I'm on him.
I appreciate you.
Come on, bro.
You already know.
And thank you. Thank you very much.
My homeboy Dez, that's my man right there. Dez is the man of
behind the camera, behind
many
the
talents.
Making it happen.
Making it happen.
Shout out to
you want to record, you want a studio, you need to come check me. I'm gonna intervene first. I'm not gonna just send you to Des. You're gonna have to talk to me first. You're not just gonna send you over here. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be screened. It's a screening process. This is a family thing. We're just gonna have bums coming in here talking about record me. Dez ain't got time for that shit. His ears ain't got time for bum music. So you just ain't gonna come here just because you pay him money. He don't need your fucking money. He don't. He's good. You're just gonna drink coconut water and sit here and listen to your bullshit. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna fucking happen. Not in here. But
all
anyway.
right, ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Please
Yes.
share. Tell everyone about the Middle Aged Man Show. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.
Peace.